We'll start today's session now. I believe there is no question. We actually had the what's it called? Can you guys see my screen, please?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we had the recording for mini project 4 today, but we could only answer 5 questions within an hour. So because we had to do explanation and talking and all of that. So I'm going to be sending that after this class anyway. So, and I will find some time to probably record the rest. But again, I believe that if you in case miss others, the 5 we did, if you check it and try to redo it, I believe a lot of people miss some things, because even some of the people in the class had some things to learn. We're just about 8. So if you watch it, I believe that will also help you in completing the rest. Just in case I'm not able to do the recording for the rest in any time soon, because trust me, it's really a busy time, and I hope you understand that. Okay, so that's that. So we'll continue today's class. Of course, we have covered DAX yesterday and DAX functions. Again, DAX are numerous. DAX functions are numerous, like really a lot of them. Yeah, I need you to know that there are really a lot of them. And just like in Excel, you cannot really cover everything at once. So as you grow into the whole thing, you begin to learn more. Yeah, you begin to learn more about these measures, these functions. But you should know the key ones, right? The basic ones, like some of those we covered yesterday, the sum, count, and all of these things, and how it works generally. That's the main thing. And I don't know, for some of us that left last session before when I was doing the filter part and all of that, well, I said that it's actually a concept that is a bit on the high side. Yeah. So I apologized yesterday, and today I'm also apologizing in case you watched it and you probably did not really get it. It's okay, right? It's something on a bit on the high side, I can admit. So they will be looking at another example that I feel will be simpler, and then we'll go to visualization proper. So as we do our visualization project, and I mean, we're always having a project in our class before the mini project. So we will find out that we'll be applying more functions, yeah, that will serve the need for what we want. So what the whole idea is that knowing that DAX exists and knowing that this is how they use it, knowing that calculated column, this is what it does, or this is what it means, knowing that measures, this is what it means. So every other thing from now is going to be by practice. Do you understand? So you can, of course, check Google to find DAX functions. So just like Excel functions also, if you check on Google, you see that there are over 250, so you can, if you have some time, but it's not really something that you just sit down and begin to read like that. These kind of things, you learn them by using them, right? That's how you perfect the learning. But know the basic stuffs, yeah, like all these ones, count, sum, average, and know some, like those ones we looked yesterday, filter functions and all of those, calculate and all of those things. Okay, that's a lot of talking. So let's go to we'll be actually dealing with 2 today. So the first one is what we were using yesterday. I will just show us one more example how we can use our DAX to do very interesting stuff, and then we'll move to the other Power BI file where we'll begin some real work, right? To prepare us for our project, mini project and portfolio project. So still on this one that we were using yesterday. So I want to introduce us today. Please, let's stay muted. So I want to introduce us today to another function, a very important function actually in Power BI. It's called the calculate function. Very important. Very important. I mean, you can't do without the calculate function. So from the word calculate, it's a function that helps to calculate, if we can put it simply like that. So let's see how calculate function works and how we can use them. That's the only thing I'll be showing you, and then we'll move to our visualization. Okay, I just thought to add it because we did not have enough time yesterday. So now let's look at let's look at it in an interesting way. So let's assume I'm interested in this customers table. I just want to know the total income for the female gender. The total income for the female gender. Of course, by now you know that's very easy to find. Yeah. So you can just, let me create a new table. This is called day 2 or day 6, day 17. Yes. So let me create a new page, and then I can bring in my annual income, which is total. So this is 19.02 million. And then, as you know, I can come over here to the filter pane, and then I can do what? Who can tell me what I can do? So I can actually bring in my gender. So we have gender here, gender full. I can bring in my gender to this filter pane. Now, my gender is not coming inside of this visual. My gender is coming inside of the filter pane. Are you watching? So my gender, I'm not adding it to this. I'm adding it inside of my filter because I want to filter this guy based on the gender. Okay, so I'm bringing my gender full inside of this place. And the moment I bring it here, you can see now that I have the sum of the annual income, which was originally there. And now there is something extra, which is gender full. It's not on my visual, but it's here as a filter. Do you understand? So this is how you can add your filter in case what you want to filter with is not in your what you have in your visual or whatever it's called. So now here I can begin to filter. You're already used to this filter. So I'm interested in female. So once I click on female, you will see that the total amount changes. So I can say this is the amount for female. Yeah. So I can copy this here and write a new one. And then this one will be for male. Yeah. So I will come here again, change it from female, and then I will add male. And then this is for female, this is for male. You get the idea? So this is how you can also apply filter based on a particular dimension. So you add the dimension to the filter pane, and then you try to manipulate what you want. In using the, of course, you know, this is more like implicit measure, yeah? So in using the explicit measure, how can we do that straight up without necessarily having to come and filter and do all of these things? So I can actually write a new measure, okay? So I'm going to right click, you know this by now. I'm going to call it new measure. And then we'll be doing all these things when we are doing the project now. So that's why I'm not really wasting a lot of time. We will do them a lot of times, so don't worry. So I can call that measure female income, okay? Female income, all right? Female income, all right? Equals to, now, what I want to do is, I want the total income, but I want that income when it is what? It is female, yeah? Is that not what we want? That's what we want. So when you want to do anything like that, rather than just writing sum of income, how do you know that you want to deal with female? That's where calculate function comes in. So if you check DAX, if you check calculate DAX, you will see that the calculate function evaluates the sum of an amount. It's not only sum, it does anything, but based on a filter context. So you can actually apply, with the help of a calculate function, you can apply a filter. So which is exactly what I just showed you, demonstrated here when we were trying to do it manually. So we have our income, but not just income, we also added a filter. So if I want to do that using the explicit function, writing it as a DAX without necessarily having to do this, that's where calculate function comes in. So that's the simplest way I want you to see calculate function. That's why it's very important. All the time you'll be using it, right? So now I'll go back to that my measure that I was writing. Where is it? Female income. So I'm going to say calculate. So of course, by now, you know, once you want to use anything, just write it. You'll see definition. So you can see it says it evaluates an expression in a context modified by filters. I get it. So you can apply the filter, you can choose to leave the filter. So let's make it interesting. Let me do it without the filter so you can see that it still works. So it's not like there has to be a filter. So now expression, what is the expression? So expression is like formula. It's like what you want to calculate. So what we want to calculate is what? Is sum of income, yeah? Sum of income. Total income, yeah? Which is this. Now, this works, yeah? So once I leave this like this and I press comma, the next thing is asking me is filter. Like I said, I don't want to apply filter yet. I just want us to see it. So I'm going to remove the comma. So it's just going to be like this. And I press enter. So once I do that, nothing has really changed, because if I bring this my female income that I created, it's still giving me 90 million, which is the total income. And that's not our objective. Our objective is to get the income for what? Only female. Are you getting it? So let's go further into that and modify it. So now, after the first thing, which is expression, if you add a comma, you would have the option for what? Filter. In Excel, you remember that anytime you have square bracket in an argument, what does it mean? Who can remind me? Anybody? What does it mean? Optional. So the same thing here. That's why that filter was working even without putting anything there. So it's an optional argument. So the filter that we want to add is that the gender, okay, genderful, okay, equals to female. Okay, so that's our filter. That's our condition. We did something similar yesterday when we were doing that filter. Do you remember? When we're doing filter and all of that? If you don't remember, it's fine, but this one is an easier way to understand it. So this is how you apply filter. So I want income, but not just the total income. I only want it when the genderful is equals to what? Is equals to female. And once I press on enter, you will see that this calculation changes now to what? 9 million, which is the same thing as what you have here. So it's already approximated here. So if I want to put it to 2 decimal place, you know how to do that. I showed you in the last class. I showed you when I think I showed you when I was explaining the whole Power BI phase. So if you click on this measure, if you come over to format, you can come to decimal, and then you can select, I want it to be 2 decimal place. So if I change it to 2 decimal place, we'll see that we have the same value as what you have here. Do you understand it? Now, while this is working, there's still one more change that I think we can do, because here you will notice that we are saying sum of customer income, which is working well, but is going to slow. I mean, we can, because we already have a measure for total income. Do you remember? So leaving it like this means that every time DAX wants to get this value of female income, it will also be doing that sum a lot of times. And it means that a lot of calculation will be going on. So instead of using this sum, this is where the explicitity of creating measure comes in handy. So I can actually bring in my total income. Don't forget, we already created total income, which is sum of income, what we have there. So instead of doing that sum multiple times, that will be calculating it every time it needs female income. This value is already stored, which is the total income. Do you understand? So, and then you use this one. Of course, nothing's going to change, but this is going to be better in terms of optimizing your model. Do you get the explicitity now? Because here, the total income that you had here, there's no way you could have brought it into this measure. So that's actually what we mean by it being explicit. Can you see the advantage now of the explicit? Sorry, that English is doing my math, but of the explicit, you understand, yeah? So that's basically what we are trying to do here. So I can do the same thing for male, right? All I need to do is right click and then say I want male customers, yeah, male income. So male income equals to calculate. So calculate is very, very useful. Take note of it. So the expression again is total income, yeah, which we already created before. And then the filter is what? Genderful equals to what? Equals to male. Okay. So, and then you have this guy, and then you can bring it here, male income. Oh, I think I have to, is it somewhere here? Okay, yeah, it's already here. So you have to bring it here, which is the same as what you have up. You know what to do now? You have to take it to, click on it and then change the format to decimal and then take it to 2 decimal place so that it can be exactly as this one that you have. So we'll be doing this as we start our work now. If you're interested in something, but this is just to let you know that this is a very important function that you need to be aware of. Calculate functions. It helps you to add filter context, which you will be doing a lot of times in your work. Yeah. So that's what I thought to show you to also help you understand what we meant by a measure being explicit. So you can see that we are still using the total income that we created yesterday here without distorting anything. So is it clear? Do you have any question? Why is it lacking the dollar sign? Because we did not format it with the dollar sign. So you have to do that also. So like mail income now, you have to format it. So you're actually using decimal. So you can use currency. We were the one that formatted that one. I think, did we? Yeah, I think we did. So you change it to decimal, to currency, and then you have your dollar sign. So it's the formatting that you use that is going to reflect what you have. Is that clear? All right. So there are other functions like that, but I think this is a very good start for us to embark on our project. Okay, any question? All right, since there's no question, I'm going to save this file now. All right, and then I'm going to open the Northwind, the one we did last week. Yeah, we had two files, so Northwind and this one. So I'm done with this one. Please open your Northwind file with the one we modeled together. So this is going to give us a case study similar to what your project will look like. Okay, so for some of us that don't remember what we're actually doing, I sent the data to us, Northwind, and then we imported all of these tables, yeah, and then we looked at each of the tables, what they mean, what they represent, and then now we want to begin work. Yeah, so let's get started. So we're about to start an analytics project it's from scratch, but we already did the extraction. We've done the modeling. I think we did the model together, yeah, in this class. So we did the modeling. Now the next thing is for us to begin to analyze. Okay, so everything we've learned so far will be used, and there will be new stuffs that you also see, but they are all for your good. Yeah. Okay. So usually when you're about to analyze, as you already know from your Excel and your Power BI, your SQL classes, there are always requirements. Yeah. So, but here we'll be like, I don't have any requirements, but we will be asking questions on the data, because this is a skill that I also want you to learn from this class. It's not just about getting the data. You should be able to ask questions. Like if you check the correction video towards the end, there was a brother asked a question. I found it really interesting because we were able to find out some things which even I didn't look at it before, and I'm sure many of us did not see. So you should be able to ask questions on your data. So we'll be doing a lot of that now. Starting from now, we ask you questions. If you look at it from your hand, if you see anything that you feel we should take note of, this is where it's going to really get more interactive, because this is a case study for how your project is going to look like. So we'll be engaging ourselves a lot. So as you know, this is all about sales. Yeah. So we have the customers table. You're not just hearing that for the first time. We've had that a lot of time. Something new, shippers table, but I think I explained in the last class, just to give you a recap. These are the people that are, okay, let me use this view so that we can see the data, how it looks like. So we have the shipper. So these are the people that are helping this company to ship their product that they sell. You have the products table, which is like the product ID, product name. By now, you should know this is a what? A dimension table. Yeah, based on what we've done, you should not expect any product to have the same ID. These are the findings that you do at the start of your project. The shippers also is another dimension. No shipper ID should be the same, because it should uniquely identify each shipper. And then you have your employees, same thing. So your employees should have, a tag like ID card, and the ID card should not be the same. It's not logical. So you expect this table to have distinct employee ID. This is another dimension. And then customers, the same thing. So your customers should be unique. This is the ID here. And then just to confirm that everything is the way it is. And then you have categories. So this is like product category. So each product belongs to a category, right? So at the end of the day, when you combine your product and category, you should expect that there are several products that will be in a particular category. Yeah. So that tells you that when you join them together, it's going to be one-to-many relationship. You are just trying to understand your data. And then we have others. So usually, just like a brother asked in that class last week, you would expect others to be like a fact table. But this particular others table is a dimension, because it uniquely identifies each order that we have. So, which is by the customer who made the order, the employee who attended to it, the date of the order, the date it was required, the date it was shipped. So, and then the shipper ID, the person that like delivered the order, which of the shippers, and then freight, this is like the weight of the order. So it's a dimension. But if you need more details about the order, that's where we have these order details, which gives us more overview on the product, on the unit price, on the quantity, and on the discount, which is clear, yeah? So we are good to go now. Based on what we did also in the correction video and what many of us did in SQL Project 4, we remember that we have something like this also, where we have the order, we have the product, and then we have the quantity, right? So what I asked us to do was what? We should find the amount, the cost of this order. Do you remember I said that? How many of us remember? Yeah, and how do you find it? Because you know the unit price of the product, yeah? You know the unit price. Are you with me? Are you with me? Hey, this class is silent today. Oh.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
We are muted.
Okay, so you know the unit price of the product, and then you know the quantity, right? So it means that what? To know the total amount of this order, I'm going to multiply the unit price by the quantity. Is that not it? That's it.
Yes.
So you remember that in our products table, we also have a column called unit price, which I was telling you that I'm not sure which of them should be, because I think we investigated it that day and we realized that they are different. Okay, but we don't have a data engineer here, so I would assume that we will work with this one. Let's work with the one in the orders table, in the one in the order details. Yeah, they are different, but we should have, if it's the reward, you ask a data engineer that something is wrong, you feel there's a mismatch, because they should be the same, but we see that they are different. But let's use this one for our own work today. Okay, so let's see how we can start. So who can tell me, what do you think we can do based on what we've learned so far? We want to have a new column here now that will tell us the total amount of this order. So what do we do? Class, come on, let's go. Nobody? Just say it. Mr. Shenfumi, say it. I see you're on mute. Oh, you don't understand what I'm saying?
Come again. Yeah. Come again, please.
Okay, let me give you a disclaimer. What we are doing is not Power BI issue. Okay. What we are doing is analytics. And you've done many of these things in Excel already and SQL. Oh. So it's not Power BI that you are learning. You are doing an analytics project. Okay? Please, let's pay attention and let's follow. We want to get the total amount of each of this order. Right? So this order, for instance, this is the product ID, this is the product that was bought. This is the price, unit price of that product. This is the quantity of that product that was bought. So how much did this order cost? If you go to a store now, they tell you a shoe is $700 and you bought 10 of those shoes. How much is that order?
We sum it.
You sum it. Good. Yeah. What are we summing? So you say 700 plus 10, that's $710. That's the total amount of your orders, yeah?
No. We find the product, number of products.
Yeah. So if you guys don't respond, we would spend a lot of time. Okay. So we will multiply the unit price by the quantity, yeah? So that's the logic. So let's do that. So you can either do that here as what? How am I going to do that here now? What am I going to do, guys? Come on. Hey. Should we take break? Calculated code. I wish I can ask some people not to talk again in this class for some time.
We are with you.
Someone like Alex. No, don't be with me. Tell what should we do? Alex, please. I don't, you get me, right? Alex, I know you can see me. I want them to. Yeah, thank you. So guys, what are we supposed to do? I will begin to call names now. I've never done it before. Mr. Francis, Mr. Funshaw, are you there? What's going on? Is it that you people don't understand what I'm saying or what? Okay. Anyways, someone just commented. So we are going to create a new column, right? So which is going to be multiplying this unit price and the quantity. So you can, of course, do that here using calculated column, or you can even go back to Power Query to do it, right? Best practice is to do what? To go back to Power Query to do it. But for the sake of probably mastering that again, we can do it here. So I'm going to right click and say new column, and then I'm going to call it total price, okay? Or order price. It's exactly the same thing we did in that correction video, right, Mr. Alex? So order price is equals to the unit price, okay, multiplied by the quantity, okay? So in case you have unit price in another column, make sure you are picking the unit price from this table, which is the order details, and again the quantity. And once you do that, you have that new column created, which is this multiplied by this is giving us this, okay? So we have this order price. Now, while this is correct, I want you to also take note of something, discount. Discount. So if you check this discount, you might be tempted to think, oh, it is just 000. Ah, do we have a data dictionary for this Northwind? Let me check. Let me check if we have a data dictionary for it. I think we have a data dictionary for it. Give me a moment. Ah, there's no data. I think there is. When I downloaded it, there is. I think there is data dictionary for Northwind. Northwind. I want to see if we can find. There's no. Maybe I don't have it on my stuff. But there is a data dictionary, I think. Okay, let's just continue. Let's continue. I would explain. No. I know I didn't send it. I'm thinking even if I have it on my own computer. I'm thinking if I have it on my computer, but I don't seem to have it. So don't worry, I'm going to explain. It's not really a big deal. So you will notice that there's a discount here. Just like some of us go to stores and we expect discount. So this is like this, when you see 0, you know that it means that there's no discount. 0.01 means that's how many percent discount. 1, 2. That's like 1% discount, 2% discount, 3%, and so on and so forth. And how do you do your discount if you go to a store? How do you do your discount? All these things are not Power BI questions. I'm asking you true questions, and I expect you to answer me. How do you do your discount? When you go to a store now and they tell you that there is 10% discount, how much are you going to pay if you are normally supposed to pay $10? Class.
Minus discount from order price.
No. I don't understand that formula. Tell me, because it's anything you tell me that we're going to put here. So are you saying in this case now, I'm going to take away 0 from 336, yeah?
No, you will try to find out the discount, then subtract it from the actual price.
Exactly. So it means that the price multiplied by everything here, right? So if it's like 10%, it means I'm going to multiply 10% by the order amount, yeah, to know the discount. Then I'm going to subtract it. Is that not it? Oh my God. Okay, so let's do like this.
No, why can't?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Why can't you do like this? Like if you want to find discount percent, like say if I find discount divided by list price times 100.
Discount divided by what?
List of the price times 100. The price list times 100. No, you have the discount divided by the list of the price times 100.
Maybe your formula will work. I don't know. You can try it, but it's confusing. You are trying to sound like you want to calculate discount. We already have the discount already. We are not calculating discount percent. That formula seems to be like you want to calculate the percent. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Okay. But what, of course, I should not be doing all these kind of things now. Oh, let me share open whiteboard very fast.
So just 3 will do one last.
You don't. It's just 3 you went to store last. I don't understand this. The discount is not calculated. Yeah, the discount percentage That's percentage, princess. It's percentage, not the value itself. So you go to a store now, a product is $10, and they tell you that on this product, there is 10% discount. Okay, which is more like 0.01. Yeah? No,
Yeah.
0.10, not 0.01. Yeah? So what you're going to do is multiply this discount by this price, which is 1, right? So it means that the discount is $1. So how much you are going to pay is $10 minus what? Minus $1. Yeah, which is what? Which is $9. That's the formula. That's how you are going to do it. But me, I will not be creating a new column for discount and be doing all these things. I will just show you a formula. You can do it anyhow you want to do it, but I will just show you a faster one. Because if you want to know the real amount you are going to pay, it's also the same thing as the price, which is 10, multiplied by 1 minus this value. Okay? That's the formula. I've compounded the formula. So the price that you the normal price multiplied by 1 minus this. So when you subtract 0.1 from 1, you get 0.9. 10 times 0.9, $9. That's how much you're going to pay. You can choose to do it anyhow you want to do it, but this is more of my mathematical whatever coming into play here. You can create a discount first. You can create a discounted price first. Anyhow you want to do it, it's your choice. Or you want me to do it one by one and not use this method? Which one should I do? One by one, or do it using this formula?
Use this formula.
Use this formula. Okay, you understand it. Thank you. So now it means instead of using this other price now that we did, we can just edit it. Yeah. So it will be based on what we wrote. It's going to be the all this amount now. Yeah. Multiplied by, which is the other price, multiplied by 1 minus, yeah, 1 minus this, which is the discount, which is similar to that same formula that I wrote for you there. So, and once you do that now, you see that for these ones, there's no much change. But when you come to where in a place where the discount is like 0.1, which is 10%, you will see that 40 times 2 is supposed to give you what? How many? 80. Yeah? So,
80.
but because of the 10% discount, so that's going to be what? $8 will be the discount. So 8 minus 80, 8 minus 80 minus 8.
72.
So you can see it's working. So anyhow you want to do it, do it. That was just simple math that we did here. But these are the details, these are the attention you need to pay to your analysis. Are you seeing it now? So you don't just bump on analysis and just do things as you find them. You have to pay attention to details because you are not being paid for the visualization. You are being paid for the core analysis. Yeah. So please, that's why the analytical mindset is even more important than, or as equal as the knowledge of the two. We've not done anything on Power BI here. It's just basic analysis that we are doing. So now that we know the other price, we can, of course, this is the price we'll be using anytime we want to know the amount, maybe based on product or based on quantity and all of that. You get it? Okay. So that is clear. So what else can we have categories, we have customers, we have everything. So let's now begin to create our measures. Okay. So the first measure I want us to create is to know what is the total amount of orders that we receive. Okay. Which is like the total order after discount. So if you want to make it interesting, actually, you can create, okay, let's make it interesting. So I'm thinking of it now. So we can create order price post discount. Okay, so this after the discount. So we can create another one, which was the one we had before. That one will be before discount. So because this will help us maybe to say, maybe at the end of the day, we can see that we are giving too much discount to company. Let's stop giving this too much. This discount are too much. They are reducing our revenue. You get I'm just thinking like that way. It's not like I've done this before, but I'm just trying to let you know that you have to open your mind and really think why. So I'm going to leave one other price pre-discount. So this is before discount. And of course, I'm going to remove this one now. So this one will no longer be there. Okay. So you can see this is the amount before discount. This is the amount after discount. So at the end of the day, we'll see how much are we losing as a result of this count. If it's like a really huge amount, we can begin to consider that. Otherwise, it's a company, they know when to do this count and they know when not. You know, these kind of things are data-based. So let's begin to create our measures. So first measure is to calculate the total amount. I feel like this name is too long, Seth. Is it not too much?
It's very descriptive.
Oh, it's descriptive, Abby. Okay, so let's leave it like that. So now, I'm going to create the first measure here. Please, when I was creating this guy, it was a colon I used, or not measure. If you go and try measure and you are writing those things, I'm sure you not even find the colon. You can try it yourself. And I know someone will still make that mistake. That's what I'm telling you now. And if you ask me, how many minutes are we? 41 minutes. I will tell you, go and check 41 minutes of the video. I will not even answer you. So the first one is total amount. Okay. Or should we say amount or revenue? Let's call it revenue. Okay. So total revenue that we got equals to sum of what? Sum of the order after. Yeah. What's the name of that now? Post, yeah. Post is like the this thing that we got. So this is the total revenue. Of course, it will not be here. It will be there as a measure. And also we can know how many orders we had, right? How many orders we made. So if you check here now, these are the interesting things you should take note of. If I want to count the number of orders we have, if I come from this order details and I click on this order ID, when I count, take note of, when I count order ID here, I'm going to get 2,155. And that is not the total number of orders we have. Can anyone tell me why? Let's think. Can anyone tell me why? Okay, go to your table. I believe you are here on your table. Click on your order ID in your order details. You can see that we have 2,455
rows.
So if I do count, so let me create a measure so you will believe me. Let me create a measure and call it total orders. Total orders. I'm sure if I ask you to find the total orders now, many of you will just say, count. Maybe I should have even told you to do it. And then many of you would have told me what your answer is. So total orders, for my order details, we want to count the what? The order ID, yeah? And then I click on enter. So if I come to my report view and I bring in now I think these guys needs to go. They are not needed for now. Now, if I bring in my total orders here, what's my answer? 2,155. But it's actually wrong. Because this is where you need to pay attention. Because now, based on when we were looking at this, we found out that this order details is repetitive. So, because this order here is showing us the details of each order. So it means that there are some orders that are represented more than once here. Do you understand? So you people are not following.
Yes.
Yes, we are following you.
You know, order details is going to show you by product. So it means there's repetition here. And that's why when you check here, the total rows is what? 2,155. What is the distinct? 830. So if I'm using this order details to count my orders, I cannot do count. This is where you need to pay attention now. If I'm using this order details table to count, I cannot do count. What I will do is what? Count distinct. So that's another. I know I did not show you yesterday, but now you are knowing that something like that exists. So instead of doing count A, I will do distinct count. Can you see? Distinct count. You know what distinct means already. So distinct, once I change it, you see that now we have what? 830. But if I'm counting from my orders table, which is this one, by now you know that this is a dimension, yeah? If you do count here, you will get the answer because the orders here are not repeating themselves. So if I choose to do it from orders, I do count. If I choose to do it from other details, I do what? Distinct count. So that's how you need to be paying attention to your analysis. Otherwise, if you just see anyone say count and go and count in other details, you will get 2,155. Another person will get 830. And be wondering, do you have up to 2,155 orders? Are you seeing how everything is going now? Okay. So you can see that it's not just about knowing that I need to do count, knowing that I need to, but those details are very important. Okay. All right. So let's stay muted. Let's stay muted. I'm hearing some noise. Okay, thank you. So now, while we are done with that, that's for other details. For now, if we actually had like a requirement, it would have guided us, but we don't have requirements, so that's why I'm trying to check it around. But if you find anything interesting that you would like us to also find as insight, please go ahead and tell me. Maybe there's something you think that it would be interesting to check what amount of, so go ahead, the floor is yours. So if you have anything, just let me know. Someone is raising his hand. I saw a hand earlier. Who is that?
No, I wanted to just get the clarification because I don't know why there will be repetition of the other ID in the other details, other details.
We explained before. Can anyone explain to him?
It's
Can anyone tell him?
Yeah, it's because each product was the other ID represented each product. So you have duplicates. You have so many other ID that's ordered for different products.
Yeah.
So you can see that they are repeating themselves. That's the other ID. So, but for the other one, is just there. You use distinct count to count the other ID.
Do you understand, Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
Okay, let me add.
Yes.
So this is a breakdown of the orders by product. So it means that in a particular order, you can buy more than one product. So they are listing it out that, okay, this particular product that you buy, but it's still the same order. So if you try to filter maybe any of the orders here, let's try this first one. If you filter it, you see that this same order, you have several products. Do you understand? So that's why it is repeated. So it means that this particular order now, they bought more than one product inside that same order. Okay. All right. So if you find another thing interesting, as you are looking at it, let me know. These are the things that you do at the start. Just look at your stores and try to do interesting stuff. Yeah, Chema, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking if we should try forecasting.
Forecasting?
Yes.
In our analysis?
Yes.
Yeah. Good point. So please take note of it. Forecasting. So when we go deeper into analysis, because we have dates. Yeah, that's very good. So you have dates. So you might want to see, of course, don't worry, when we start visualizing, you would see that we'll definitely do forecasting, because it will be nice to see how much orders are we to expect for the coming year or for the coming month. That's what she means by forecasting. Okay. So yeah, good point. Another one that I thought of now, which I also mentioned that day, last week, is that we have order date. Okay. We have required date. So this is the day I ordered. Let's say I ordered on the 10th of August. Yeah. And then I need this order on the 15th of August. That's my required date. And then this order was shipped on the 15th of August. Class, do you think that I will get this order on that required date? It's a relative question, so answer it. It's not like there's an answer, but what do you think? Considering that this is an international market, because you can see that if we check the customers, they are from several places in the world, Germany, Mexico, and all of that. So if I made this order on the, what's it called? On the 10th, let me repeat myself. And then this order is required on the 15th. I need it on the 15th, which is today. And I just got a notification early this morning that the order was shipped. Do you think I will receive this order before my... No. Why do you say so?
Because it will take time to reach the destination, and the time sometimes can even take days.
Good.
And that very day is the required date.
Good.
To get the order.
Good. So it means that based on these three guys that we have, we can actually determine whether an order is late or not. Yeah. So it means that, so we will have to decide. So in this case, we'll decide together, but I believe there should be company standard. So let's say on average, we expect that shipping will take 2 days. This is just an assumption. We are creating an assumption, and we assume, okay, the company has that metric, so that, okay, most on average, their orders are usually delivered 2 days after the ship date. Do you get it? Now, let's use 2. We are using 2. So 2 days after the ship date is when the orders are usually delivered. So it means if we want to know the late orders here, we will need to check if the day that they are shipped, if they are what? Less than the required day by 2. Oh, you people don't, someone doesn't understand it. This is real life we're explaining. This is not 2. I want this order on the 15th. So if that every time they ship an order, it takes 2 days after to deliver it, it means that for me to get that my order on the 15th, it must be shipped latest on the 13th. Do you understand?
Sure.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes,
so anything that makes it go after 13th means what? That order will be definitely late. So based on that logic, we can create a new column here that will help us to know whether this order will be late or it will be what? Or it will be early. So I'll give you as an assignment to go and try it. I will not do it today. So take your notes, write it down. Think, how can we? It's just simple calculation. So if the ship date is greater than the required date plus 2, something like that. So think about it and find a column that will tell you either this order will be late or this order will not be late. Okay, Mr. Isaac.
Thank you very much, sir. Is it possible from this data to also make a decision on knowing how much you have in stock and when you are below stock and when to restock? Can you from this angle also make decisions like that as well?
No, I don't think so, because we don't have anything like inventory. So nothing is really showing us inventory, how much we have left in stock. So that will be hard to find. Do you understand? But that's a good thing, but we don't have that data here. So, but that's a good one. So if we have inventory, we can say, okay, how much order we have left in our stock and all of that. Yeah. So that's nice. So please don't forget to check that. I purposely will not do it because I want you to think about it. These order details. So these orders, I mean. So let's find out how many of them are late or early. You have to investigate a lot, guys. That's what I'm trying to make you do here. The fact that I gave you the formula does not mean it's simple. You just go and write that formula. And you have to take note that if you check here now, there are some ship dates that are what? That are blanked. So what does it mean? It means that this order has not even been shipped at all. So you have to take note when you're writing your formula to counter for this. I will not tell you what to do. I expect you to think very well. So that's where you see the dynamism, the what's it called, that if function, because of course it's going to be a condition, as you know. You want to check if the condition is met, then late. If it's not met, then, but it has to be written in a very dynamic, not just straightforward. If it's this that you have been doing all this day. Now it's more interesting. I'm just letting you know. So please think about it very well. To be nice if you can really crack it, but it's not difficult. You just need to sit down, write it down logically. If the required is this, then it is this. Okay, if there is no ship date, it means that it's not shipped. So it's impossible for something that is not shipped to be late, or it's impossible for, just think about it logically and let's reason together. Okay, so I will leave you to do that. But don't forget, it's 2 days after the ship date that the order will be delivered. So what else? What else have you found? What else? So you can also find weight if you're interested in knowing the total weight of each order. Maybe at the end of the day, maybe you want to give your. I'm just creating a scenario in my head. I'm not saying that this is the case. We don't have requirement, but you want to say, okay, our people that are helping us ship our product, they've really helped us a lot this year. They've helped us to transport about so kilogram of load. This kind of thing so you can also be interested in finding the total freight. So I'm going to create a new column for that and call it total freight equals to sum of freight. Okay. So that's how you'll be creating those measures down. We'll be using them, all of them at once. I'm just trying to go over it. Also in this customer ID, of course, as you already know, it would be nice to know how many of our customers have made, this is something you're familiar with now, by now. So how many of our customers have made orders so far? Now, don't be tricked into saying, okay, we have 89 customers. Can you see? Based on what we have here at the bottom, 89 distinct. We have 830 orders, but 89 distinct customers. So it means that 89 of our customers have patronized us. Now, if you check your customers table, how many customers do we have? We have 91. That's impressive. So if 89 of our total customers out of 91 are making purchase, it means that we are not losing a lot of our customers. I mean, our customer base is strong. So these are the things that you need to be looking at, be taking note, because it will help you in your analysis where you're analyzing. Do you understand? So you can also check for employees as well. So if you check in that same your order again, and you check your employee, how many employees do we have? 9 distinct employees that have made an order, that have helped in making an order. So if we check the employees table, how many do we have? We actually have 9 employees. So which makes sense because all our employees are actively engaged. But it would be nice at one point to see how much the employees are bringing in terms of orders. So maybe at the end of the month or at the end of the year, we want to award the best employee based on the total number of orders he has generated in terms of revenue or in terms of, so just think of it that way. And that's how you make, but we already calculated total orders, so which means and total revenue. So we don't need to be calculating it multiple times because it's explicit. So even if we need it for employees, it will also fetch it. Why? Because our modeling is done. So I'm just walking us through everything that we'll be doing. So what's the last thing? That's all. I think for now, if there's any other thing that we remember, we'll come back and sort it out. Okay, we might be interested in the day also. So the day that we get a lot of orders. I think this is also something you're familiar with. So I will not be doing that here because of that. I don't want my computer to be slowing back. So I'll go back to Power Query for my orders table here, edit query. And then I'm going to extract day, name of day. I think we've done that before from the month. So from the date. So the day of the order now, which is this order date, I'm going to extract the what? Under add colon, I'm going to extract the name. You can extract here too if you want. But usually we should have calendar table. We don't have it here, which is okay. So we can extract the year. So maybe we want, I think we have 3 years here. Yeah. How many years do we have? I've not even checked it. I think everything here is from 2013 to 2015. So we have 3 years there. So we can extract year if you want. You can extract month. So let's do month. Let's extract month. I want to see which month we are getting a lot of orders. So name of month. So okay. This will also help us in forecasting that Chema was saying earlier, because these are the data is going to use to check what to expect in the next month. So we can also do for maybe here if you want also can do for you. I mean, it's up to you to just decide what and what you want. What else? I think that's all. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty fine. So I can go back and do close and apply. And then if you check here, you should have your those new columns that you created. So you have your month name and then you have your year. Okay, so if in case you're interested in seeing the breakdown of the total number of orders we received by month and by year. Okay, now again, another search you need to do is, if you look at my data now, the order date. The order date is actually starting in July. So these are the things you need to also take note of. Where is my data starting from? Where is it ending? So my data is starting in July 2013. Are you seeing? And it's ending in May 2015. So it means that we only have half of 2013, half of 2015, but what? Full of what? 2014. So by the time you do an analysis of the year now, I expect that maybe 2014 we have the highest number of sales and the highest number of revenue. Logic, that's what I expect. It will be surprising if 2014 is not the highest. But now it will be an unfair analysis to just conclude that among these 3 years, 2014 is the best. Do you understand? Because it's not a balanced data. So these are the things that you need to bear in mind. Of course, based on what we have, 2014, okay, let's even check it so that you understand what I'm saying. So if I come over, so I'm interested to check it now. So I can break down that year that we calculated. So we have that year, yeah? Can you see? So I'm going to bring that year here. Of course, it's summing it up together because it's a number. So I can change it to, there are 2 ways to do it. Is either I change that year to a text, because the way it is a number, it doesn't make sense. Year should not be a number. It should not be added up. So I can change it from number to a text to, yeah, I'll change it here, data type to text. Okay, so it will, so if I change it, let me delete this one. So let me bring it again. I bring my here. So you will see that it will automatically generate that as a table. The only reason why you try to aggregate them together is because they are numbers. But now they are no longer numbers, which of course they are not like numbers that need, you cannot add year together now. You cannot say 2019 plus, it doesn't. So it's better as a category like this, which is 2013, 14, and 15. Now, if I bring in my total orders, my total revenue, or let's do total orders, which is the number of orders, since we already created that measure before, and I bring it in, you can see that if I convert it to a table, you see that 2014 indeed has more orders. Yeah, but it's not a balanced analysis based on what I just showed you, because we have complete data for 2014, we don't have for 2013, we don't have for 2015. So it means that even when you are presenting this, there should be somewhere that you are noting that, I mean, even on the report, that actually this is a full data for 2014, is not full for 20, I mean, so that you will create a balance. Do you understand? Because of reality, maybe by the time they update that of 2013, it can actually have more revenue than 2014. And you have already concluded that 2014 is the best year. So these are the things that you need to check. You are not just bumping on your data and then just, no, you need to observe, you need to think critically. Everything we've been doing so far now, we've not done anything about tool. We've not even done anything about Power BI since. We are just still investigating our data. And we've learned a lot from just looking at it, because it will not help us to do our analysis and build our report, and we don't give the wrong insight. Okay, I know that's a lot of talking today. It's nice that we did it anyways. So let's take a break, 5 minutes, and then when we return, we'll continue and see how far we can go today. So yeah, 5 minutes break, I'll be back. Thank you, guys. Hello, guys. Sorry. I went to check my bins like some of us will do here. Okay, don't mind me. So I hope everyone's back as well. I hope you can hear me. Okay, I believe so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so enough of talking. Let's get started into seeing some nice stuff based on what we've highlighted so far. Okay, so we'll just be trying to answer some questions simply, and then I'll be showing you the visualizations and you can bring them together and all of that. So let's start with, I can call this page orders. Okay, so this is more like the number of orders. Yeah. So I'm just trying to make it simple to break down. So it means everything we'll be doing on this page will be about orders. Yeah. So let's start with customers. So let's see which customers, let's see the breakdown of orders based on customers. Yeah. So like how much orders each of our customers are making. So you can actually pick it from the customers table if you want, because we need the name, the company name. If you pick it from orders table, what we have is the customer ID. An ID does not make sense, as you know, just like you would do it in SQL. Yeah. So you're only using the ID to what? To create the connection, but you need the company name, right? You get the idea? So that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to be getting the customer name, which is like the company name. And then that measure that we created, this is where it gets interesting. Even though that measure was created using a colon from the other details, because it is explicit and because we have modeled together, as you already saw in our class last week, every connection is going to be done across. So I can bring these total orders here and we'll have some values. So I want to bring it like this. So we'll first see it. So these are all our customers. We have about how many of them? Do you remember? 89, right? That has made orders. So these are all our customers. So this is also a way of validating that we are right. You can see that the total is what? 830, which is right. So these are all our customers, but this is not really looking good to display like this. So usually you want to do something like top 10. I think we saw that yesterday. So very simple, yeah? You know what to do. So I'll come over to this filter pane. We did that yesterday, yeah? So I'm going to do filter company name based on what? Top 10. And I'm going to say top 10 by what? By the total orders, yeah? So it's going to be here, and then I click on apply. So we are just left with the top 10 customers. And then you can change this chart. Instead of a table, you can use a clustered bar or any other one. I think we did some of this yesterday. So you have this, okay? Which is like, so let me leave it here for now. We'll still be doing the formatting later. So this is a breakdown of the orders by what? By company, by the customers. So you can also look at, based on the employers also, how much orders have our employers handled. So again, very simple, because we have done the real work, which is modeling. So once anything is wrong with your model, then all these things will be wrong. We saw that last week. So again, I'm going to bring in my total orders for my employees now. So just to check it with the table, you will see that it's still going to be 830, but we can see that Margaret Peacock has 156 orders and so on and so forth. So you can actually change this on also to a bar, to easily see them in that order. So we don't need to do top 10 here because there are just 9 of them. So you might also be interested in seeing okay, let's go to customers and see more stuff about customers. So we go to customers, the information we have, we also have their city. So you can see breakdown of city to see where most of our orders are shipped to, because that gives us where, okay, a lot of things can come from there. So you can even use country instead of city. City is more on a low level. So we can use country to see which country that most of our orders are going to. Do you get the idea? Okay. So that way we can find out, okay, maybe to do promo or a discount for some, just come up with different initiatives from that kind of thing. So let's see, under the customers, we go to their country. and then the same thing. So you just bring in the total orders. So you will see that based on this thing, Germany seem to have a lot of orders. Germany and USA, actually, they are the same thing. So, but we have a lot of countries like that, Norway. So you might be interested in saying, okay, why are we having a lot of orders in Norway, Poland? Maybe our market is not strong. Then they begin to build up initiatives. Or how can we improve? You get this, how insights come, and depending on who we are reporting to. So, but here I think top 10 will be fine, or even top 5. Let's not do top 10, maybe just top 5 here will be fine. So I'm just going to do country, do top 5 by what? Total orders. Don't forget, we're only working with total orders on this sheet to keep it organized. So I'm going to change it again also, so we can see these are the top 10 by countries. So that's how you will be breaking down your stuffs. Okay, breaking down based on dimensions. So let's see, we've seen employees, we've seen customers, we've seen country. So let's see based on product now. Okay, so that's very important. So we'll see based on product. Again, I can bring in my product from my products table. Okay, the product name, not the ID. Okay, and then I can bring in my total what? Total orders, which is here. I don't know why this guy is changing automatically to this thing. I don't know who is sending it. Maybe I have to do a setting. I don't know why it's changing by. So, but you can see the total orders by product. So this Racheli, Kodia, whatever it's called, has been ordered 54 times, you know, and you can actually see orders as well that are low. So you can do the top 10 also. So I'm going to come here and do top 10. So top 10 products by what? By total orders. So you can see everything we are doing is just what? Repetition. So that's why I said that many of the things you've learned, you just master them as we are getting them done here. So you can see also the top 10 products by orders. We can also see category now. Yeah. So since we have product, it's also nice to see category. So the same thing, just category and then the total orders. So you can see that, okay, it's changing by itself. So let me just leave it since we are also changing it back. But yeah, we can see for here that beverages have actually been ordered a lot of times, most, followed by all of these ones like that, as you can see. So that's how you will be. You can also check shippers. So how many orders? So to find out which of our shippers has done more work for us. So we can just bring in our shippers here, which is the shipper's name, the name of the, I think there are just 3 of them. And then you bring the total orders. So again, you can see here with a table that United Package has helped us with 326 orders. Federal Shipping has done 255. Speedy Express has done this, you know. So that helps us to know maybe at the end of the year, depending on whatever you want to do. This is our partner, you know, just come up with different stuff. But these are just simple things that we can easily spot from the data. Yeah. So I think this is okay for now based on the orders now. This is just based on the orders. Yeah. So if there's another thing, any other dimension that you think we can also include, you can try to do that on your end. But I think for me, this is fine. Okay. So the next one we'll be doing is for the what's it called? It's for the revenue. Okay. So again, I'm going to create another sheet, call it revenue, or you can just duplicate this page, just like in Excel, when you duplicate a sheet. So you can duplicate this and rename it to revenue. Okay. So I will leave you to probably do that by yourself. So let me just focus on this one. And then you can do that of revenue, try to polish it yourself. So let's do formatting. That's the next thing we want to do because all these are not looking so good. So you know now, based on some of the formatting tips I taught you, based for me, you wouldn't need all these x-axis. We did this before, right? Last week. Did I show you? Because now I'm doubting that I showed you some things.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just the same thing. So let's try to be fast with them. I'll probably just do a couple of them and see if the format painter will work. So I have to add this format option here. So format, I want to format this one. I'm taking up the x-axis title. And then I'm taking up the y-axis title, and then I'm taking up the x-axis completely, taking up the grid lines. Okay, there are no more grid lines, and I'm adding data labels. And then I'm going to be doing inside end. This is just going to be like repetition. Yeah, so we have this. So these are like the top 10. So I feel like maybe it's too long or what? It's okay. I feel like maybe it's too long. So let's do top 5. Let me change it to 5. Okay, so let's do top 5. So I'm going to click on apply. So this looks better. So again, we format, so the title of this place is we can change the title to orders by company. Yeah. So, and then you can bring it to the center. This is my formatting style. So I think I mentioned it the last time we were doing this, that mostly when you check my, because I'm not the visual, I'm not really an artistic person. So this is not my thing to be doing all this. So I just do all the time. So be very, but make sure you're not doing too many colors and all of those things. Make sure it's still very neat and really nice to see. So I can just try to add some borders here in my title. So I can do background color can be like blue. This blue. So I say blue. Don't mind me. Don't mind my dialect. Sometimes it shows. I try to hide it, but I cannot sometimes. So sorry about that. Blue. So you can also change the color of this this guy. Maybe you can change the color of the bars. I think we did all of this. So we can change it to something like this. Yeah. And I'm interested in showing that this guy is the highest. So I can give it its own separately. This is just my own option. I'm not saying you should do exactly. So I can give it like a green, for instance, to show that we are really making a lot of sales from it, something like this, to show that this guy is like really there, up there as the highest or something like that. Just play around it. So I can copy this format now, and let's see how far our format painter will help us. So it's helping us. So we can change this one title again to what? These employees, yeah? So it's going to be employees, ordered by employees. Okay. So you can see every other formatting is done. We did that before. You can also add color to this one if you want. Or let me just change the color. I think maybe that color that I used does not make sense. I mean the color of the bars now. So let me use something that we don't have to be changing manually. Let me just use something like this. Okay, yeah, this is good. So I can format this painter again, put it here. Okay, so you can see the same thing. I think this one also we can do top 5. Okay, apply. Then we can change this to what's the title now? Product's name. So orders by product. Orders by product. Okay. All right. So again, the same format, just apply it here. This is by country. So we can just change the title. You can see the use case for that format painter, yeah? Orders by country. So here also, this is orders by category. So I'm going to copy, format this painter, and then paint this one. Apply it here. So you have orders by category here. Orders by category. Excuse me, one moment, please. They're back. Sorry. So orders by category, and then format painter of this. And then this is by company name, yeah? So format this and to apply to this. So this is orders by company, by shipper, not company name. So orders by shipper. Okay, so I can take this one off so we can have more space. I think I showed us last time how we can increase the size of our page, because right now I think, or maybe I'm zoomed in too much. Okay, I think it's pretty big. So it's pretty, so we can change the size. I think I showed us the last time. So come to canvas settings and then change the height. So I like to use height 1000 actually. And then my width, I like to use 15. So this is not this thing, but this is just what I like to use. So I think it looks better now. So we can try to reduce this to C. Oh, we have too much space. So you can add other things there. So I mean, there are still more stuff we can add. So let's just try to arrange first. It's looking good anyways. So this one now, for instance, the name is not really showing. You might want to really expand it so that you can see all the names. There are other tricks I use, but I won't have enough time to show you that for now. So still manage it like this. And then just, let's bring them down a bit. So you can actually select all of them by holding Control. I'm sure you know that, or just highlight them like this. You can select everything like that. Some of them are not selected, so you can use your, just like Microsoft Word, yeah? So very simple stuff. So just try to drag it down so we can have more space up here. Okay. So one thing also that I think we should look at is by month. We forgot to look at by month and by year. Okay. So that's where we actually have what Chema was talking about earlier, which is this thing format forecasting. So let's try to do it here. So I will go to my guys, and then we have in our, usually we have what we call calendar table. So if you check in, maybe in your project, you actually have a calendar table. So you won't need to be creating all those year, months, and all of that. They are already there in your calendar table. So you just be using them, provided you model your calendar table, which is of course going to be a dimension. You model it with your orders or whatever, and then you also get what you need. So just that, just for information. I think I have a video that explains why we need orders table on my YouTube. So I'll probably send you the link. So there's what we call, not orders table, calendar table. It's actually very important. But no, so I will not do a lot of talking. Let me just continue. So if you go to our orders, I think we created the year, right? We created the year, which is the year of order. Do we create month? Yeah, we created month also. While this is good, I think we might need to create month year actually. Okay, let's just use the date first. Let's use the order date first and see what we have. So by bringing my order date here, we're going to have them like this. And then I bring them side by side with the total orders. So that's what we are dealing with. We are still working on total orders, this page. If I bring in my total orders, of course, it has changed the chart for me. And it's looking like this, which is starting from October 2013. So you can see the number of orders. And then somewhere in 2015, our total number of orders are increasing. So, but yeah, this is day by day. So if you hover on it, you will see that this is July 1, July 5, July. So it's one day. So which does not make sense, which is why it's looking horrible. So what we want to do is it's better we have it month by month. So we can have something like January 2013, February 2013. That one will be more, that one will be better. Okay. So this again, another disadvantage of having that, or another advantage of having that order table. So we cannot use this as it is. We have to actually create a month name column by ourselves. So one way we can do that, I hope I'm not going to complicate things tonight like this. Don't worry, just stay with me, So this order date, we can actually like change the format of this date. So, no, that's not what I want, Okay, so we have to go back to Power Query.
Power Query.
Yeah, let's go back to Power Query. So let's right click and go to edit query. Now I told you before when we started that Power Query, we always go back and come back there. So let's join these two tables together, these two guys together, okay, and have month year column. Okay, you already know how we can join together, yeah? So I'm going to use what? We'll do it under hard column, merge column. So you can see that everything that we did before, we are still using them. So we'll be using space, and then I can call it month here. Okay, so month here. So we will have something like January 2013 and so on and so forth. So if I try to format this to date, I think it's able to capture it. You can see it captured it automatically because I wrote it in the right format. It's just the same thing you would do in Excel. If you try to write anything like July 2013 in your Excel, to automatically convert it to. So now you can see that maybe this is a longer approach. Maybe we can even use start of the year. But if I use that one, a lot of people will be asking me questions. At start of the month, you'll be asking me a lot of questions if I use that one. It's actually going to be the same thing. So if you come to your date, let me use that one. If you come to your order date, don't worry, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you will understand it when you see the results, okay? So if you come to the other date and you had new column, go to date, you go to month. I know I showed you this before, start of the month. So what this is going to do is any month that it is, it will only return the first day of that month. Do you understand? So now the other date, for instance, here, the other date is 4th of July. Yeah. But it's returning what? 1st of July. So every month, every date that you have, when you say start of the month, is going to only return that month, that the first day of that month. So at the end of the day, when you go into your analysis and you use this start of the month or that month here that we created, you can actually see that it's the same thing. What it's going to do now is that because that start of the month is now in all the columns, so the value you need, everything will come as that start of the month. So you will now, that way you are able to see your result in a month by month level. Okay, let's see how it looks like so you understand what I'm saying. So let's just know that you do start of the month or you use this style that I use, which is month here. So let's go close and apply. And then everything is saved. So we have start of the month somewhere here. And this guy also here, the start of the month here. So you can change this format here, the way the start of the month is. I can change the format here to, I want it to be like month here, yeah, which is like month here. So you can look for it here, month here, month here. I just want the month and the year. Do we have anything like that? Month here. Okay, this is year, month. We should have month here now. There's no month here. Oh, hi. There should be month here, month here, month here, month here. Okay, I think that's why it's even good to create it faster. But yeah, it's fine. Let's just use this year month. It's also the same thing. So, but I wanted month here, but it's fine. So using that, so you can see now that we are having 01/2014, which is like January 2014, and so on and so forth in that order. Do you get it? I know it's a lot for some of us. Just check it again. It's something you'll be doing all the time. So don't get surprised about it. Okay. So now what we want to do is we can use our table first, and then we can show let's go to start of the month. Where do we have it in our others table? Yeah. So start of the month. So you can see now that we just have the start of every month. Yeah. And then now if we bring in the total orders, which is what we have been doing before, total orders. So now we have it compounded. Look at the difference. Okay, let me show you the difference. So let me create the same table again. Okay, but this time I will not use start of the month. I will just use the order date. So you will know why we were having that rubbish that we were having earlier. So if I use order date the way it is, where is it? Order date, order date, order date. You see that it's giving me every day. Can you see? So this is Thursday, July 1, Friday. So one day it's giving me. But what I'm trying to do is I want to, so that all of the July will be one value. So just like you have here, all of the July now we have 22 orders and so on. Okay. So with a calendar table, like I said, this might not really have taken us this long process, but I'm just showing you this way. I'll probably show you another way, maybe tomorrow, how you can do it. If you remember in our setting, there's this place called, when we started, remember? There's one that we did that is called calendar date. If you check your data load, auto date and time. So tomorrow, I will show you how this can be used to also help us in this situation. But it has a disadvantage, and that was why I told us to deactivate it. So I'll show you, and then I will tell you the disadvantage. So, and then you'll see. So now this is better. So now you can use this one to create your visual. And because you know you are dealing with a time, I told you before, you are dealing with a time data, yeah, time series. So the type of chart to use is not a bar chart, it's not a column chart. It's a what? A line chart, okay? So you can use a line chart. So now you see that this one is looking better than that rubbish that we had the other time. So you can easily see the trend. Yeah, this is very easy to see. So in July of 2013, this is the number of orders we made. It kept increasing. And somehow since November 2014, our order began to increase up until January, right? And January also in 2015, our orders has been increasing. So now you might be tempted to think, why do we now have a sharp drop in May? This is again why all the things that we have been saying since is important. Don't forget that this data is not complete. So you might want to check, because here this is in April 2015 and here is in May. 2015. So if you check your data and then try to check the order date and check the last order date, you see that the last order date is what? Is May 6. So we only have just 6 days record for the whole of May. Do you understand? So you not say, you not start thinking, why is May really low? It's not a good question to ask because we don't have all of the data for May. So that's why May is looking like this. Do you get it now? So these are why you need to do in-depth analysis of your data before you start anything. So let's just format this guy, probably similar format that we have used before. I'm going to take off the y-axis title. Okay, I'm going to take off the grid lines. And then I think all of the grid lines. So I think we can remove the x-axis title as well. Everyone knows that we are looking at it by month, so there's no point in having it there. And then we can change the title to something like orders by month. Orders by month. Okay. By month year. So you want to do something like this. So because not just months, you're also looking at month year, yeah? So put it at the center. You want to change the background color to this one, just like we had there, and then you want to change the text color to white. So this is just up to you for you to format. So you can also add like data labels. So we already know that what data labels do. So you can add data labels so you can see each of the value. So if you're adding data labels, then there's no point in having this guy here. It's just going to be extra noise. These are just tips I'm giving you from my own experience. So you don't need y-axis because since you have your data labels, there's no point in having it. So you can see this is looking much better. So I can bring this guy somewhere at the bottom, somewhere there. So let me just bring it here, somewhere at the bottom there. So what you want to do next, you might want to add some KPIs to your report. So like, for instance, you know what KPIs are. We did it also in Excel. So you might want to add the total orders that we have. Since we are dealing with orders here, so you might just want to add this like somewhere there as a number, total orders. So again, you want to format this. The title can be added. It's currently off. And I'm going to change the title to total orders. Okay. And then you can do the same formatting actually. So background color is that one. Text color is this one. And then this value that is total order, there's no point being there. So that's the category label. So you can turn it off. Just play around all of these formatting things to see what they really mean. You can also increase the size, not of the title, sorry, of the value itself. So that value is the all out value. So you can increase the size. You can see you can bold it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So you can see it's increasing. So just as you want. You can put this one in the middle, that's the title. So you have the total orders looking like this. So also if you want to do something like, I'm just going to Control-C and Control-V it. So I can do something like just saying, I'm not saying that it has to be, but you can do something like female orders, yeah? So you know here we had total orders. We did not create female, it was in the other question that we created female orders, okay. So if we have such record in customers, so check customers table. Do we have anything like male or female? No. Okay. So, but if there is anything, maybe you want to create something others, or you can just add it there.
What about revenue?
Huh?
What about revenue?
Revenue will be in a separate table, in a separate sheet. So the same thing, that's what you'll be doing now as your task before tomorrow. Everything that you have here will be here. But just that it will now be based on revenue, not orders. So you can see everything here is about orders. Do you understand?
Yes.
So what else we want to check? What else can we check? So since this is like orders, you can also just add revenue just to see them side by side here. You can just add revenue here. I mean, just the KPI, not like other things will be revenue, just the KPI. So you can have total order. Or is that what you were trying to say, Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, you can do that. So total revenue. But it's just the KPI. It's not every other thing.
Yes.
So you have the total revenue here. So let's just try to rearrange because we don't have much time. So similar to the rearrangement in Excel, you remember someone actually showed us then. So this, we also have them here. So if I click on both of them and I go to format, you will see align. Do you remember? Align top, align center. We did all of these things in Excel. So it's the same thing. So align top. Okay. If you want to align them, excuse me, side by side. So I can bring this guy, for instance, this guy, and this guy, and this guy also. I can align all of them to the left. Align left. So all of them will be on the same line on the left. Can you see? Something like this. So I feel, I thought we had more space. So apparently, okay, I think I need to reduce the size of this one. Maybe like this. Yeah, it's looking good. So I think we can increase we can reduce this as well. We can increase, so we can make them same sizes as well. There are several ways to do that. So this one, can see, is telling you that this is where to stop. Unlike Excel, we didn't have this option. So these are some of the advantages. But alternatively, what I like to do is just know the size. So if you click on any of them and you go to properties, no, not properties, yeah, I think it's proper. If you go to properties and you go to, where is it? It's usually somewhere here now. Okay, maybe. It's usually somewhere here. It should be under properties. That's really weird. I usually have something, let me click on it again. But I click here and then I go to, okay, size. I think, okay, it's under here now. I think it's usually under properties before. But when you come to size, so you can see the height. The height is 332 and the width is, so sometimes I just take note of it. I write it down. So all of these charts, I want them to be 330, the height, and then the width to be 380. So this is also a better way of resizing my stuff. So I will just come over each of them and change it. So 330, all right, and 380, yeah? So this is easier instead of dragging and dropping them. So it's going to be exactly the same thing, 330 and 380. Do you get the idea? So this one also 330. These are tips that I learned even at a later stage of I'm always doing that drag and drop. So please take it as something important because I know you'll be needing them a lot. So 330 and 380. So you can see how Power BI makes this whole thing easier compared to Excel. Yeah. So, but it's still the same thing that you did in Excel we are doing here. You're just repeating those steps. So now all of them are of the same size because of what we've done. So you can just try to align them. All these ones are already aligned. I think we still need more space. Is it that this space is too small? What? This one can be reduced, right? Yeah, this one can be reduced as well. So I can drag this one up a bit so that I can have more space for this guy, add it down. Just rearrange them somehow. Can't be that this space is too, let me reduce this one a bit. We still need more space. Why all these things just big like this? Oh, now I've distorted the height and everything.
Can you increase the space from the men's?
I don't want to increase it. I'm feeling like it's too big now. Okay, let me use 1.2 as the height then. I'm feeling like it's too big, actually. Okay, but it's fine. So now we have more space. 330 by what do we call this as? Okay, it's still intact. It's still intact. So they are still intact. So all I need to do now is to align them and make sure that there is the space between them is the same. You understand? That's what I want to do now. The space between these three. So I'll click on this. I'll click on this. This is just arrangement, though. It's not really like so align to the left, and then you also see something like distribute vertically. So you want the space between them to be the same. So if I click on it now, you see the spacing now is the same. Yeah. So you can bring this one also, and this one you align them together, right? You align them to the top. So this one now, for instance, and this one, I can align them. And all we are doing now is just arrangement. So align to the top. So they are both on the top. This one and this one and this one. You want the same space between them. So just like you did earlier. So the same space between them. So this one also. So just arrangement like that. This one and this one, you want to align them to the top. Okay. So they are the same. And then you want this one, and this one. You want them to have the same space between them. Yeah. So that's distribute vertically. Now, what you want is you want the space here and the space here to be the same. Yeah. So I'm going to pick this one, and this one. And I'm going to do what now? distribute horizontally. So the spacing between them is the same. So I can pick this one and this one and say this, let them be aligned to the right. Yeah. So aligned to the right. So this one also move. So I mean, that's just how you just be playing around with it until you get the perfect arrangement and alignment. So I can drag this one to actually be long, something like this. So you're having your layout set up for you. So one final thing that I want to add, let me drag this here a bit down. Let me drag this also a bit down. Let me put it on this side. So let me make it actually the size of this. So we have arrangement. Let me also make this one this size. Okay. So one last thing I want to add is slicer. I think we did that in Power BI, in Excel. So a slicer. So you can slice by several things. So for now, let's just slice by the year. Okay. So maybe we want to be interested. We can add more than one, as you know. So we can add by, let's just add one. So let me add the year first. So, and then I will choose a slicer. So you can see all the years. And then when you come here, you will see slicer. Can you see slicer? So once I choose that, you'll see I have this style of slicer. You can actually change it. Maybe I can change the slicer to something like this. If you click on this place, okay, now they've changed it. They said this setting has moved. To change the slicer style, select format, slicer settings option. So it used to be here before, but they have moved it. So they asked us to go to format, and then we should check the slicer settings and change it from vertical list to, you can use a drop down. I prefer a drop down. I like this. So you can see something like this. And then you can select 2013. So the moment you choose 2013, you can see everything is updating. 2014, everything is changing. 2015, everything is changing. Okay, so I love this one. And then if you click on, you go back to the default. So this is one slicer for year. You can add slicer for customers. So maybe you're interested in just a particular customer, for instance. I mean, you know how slicer works, right? So that's not a new thing that you are learning. So this year, I can add another one for, okay, let me add this somewhere beside here. So this one will be for, what should it be for? We can do for maybe company. I mean, just, it's up to you. So just slice them. So you can also do for shippers. You know how we slice, right? You can do for product. We can do for product categories. Yeah. So I think categories make sense. So let me do for categories. So I'm going to remove what we have here, which is the year, and then I'm going to use category name. Okay. So you can also slice by categories. I want beverages. This is the total amount we've made for beverages. So you can see here now, it's only beverage we have. Just exactly what we have in Excel. These things are not new. Are they new? No. Are they new? No. So this is how you can add. So you can add more stuff if you want. Just arrange them very well, look neat. And then the last thing, because I want us to do something that you can probably just implement. How many minutes do I have? Okay, 11 minutes. Okay, so let me just I'm just trying to arrange this again. So instead of category name, you can also format these guys. So if you go to their format, you can apply any format you want. So the title, I can choose category. Okay, so because they are slicers, you can decide to give them a different color or background. So let's say I'm giving them something like this or something like, I mean, it's up to you, just trying to play around these things. So I can give them something like this. So to show that they are slicers, you get. So, and then you can put it at the center. And then you notice that there's a name there initially. That's the slicer header. So I can turn it off. I don't need it since I want us to use our own name. So this same setting, I can apply it to this one. Okay, you see that that name is there. So I need to add the title for this one. So I'm going to call it here. And then it's going to be exactly the same thing. So just to help us know that they are slicers and they are like different, you get. So that's the whole idea. So if you want to add other slicers, you can add it. So the last thing I want to show us is you can just add a text box here. Although I used to do the design somewhere outside of Power BI, maybe in like Canva, and then change the background. But if I have some time, I can show you that also. But I just want I want to take us to a point that is very similar to where we had in Excel. So this is a text box, so I can write something like Northwind sales report. So this is for the last place was in May, right? So the data stopped in May. So the report is for April 2015. Okay. So, and then you can format this text. So if you click on it, you are able to format, go to format, no, not this one. There should be format options for these things now. The format is here. So you can click here and then increase the size to maybe 40. You can bold it. You can, just anyhow. And then you can even change the background of this guy. So you can change the background now, for instance. I can change the color to white. It's up to you. I'm just trying to bring us to a point. And then you can come over here to the properties where you can change the background. I think advanced option is not here. It used to be somewhere here before. Size and style. Okay, background. So background is currently on. So you can change the background to something like maybe this color we have been using. It's looking too bluish, but I'm a Chelsea fan, so pardon me if you're a Gunners fan or a Liverpool fan. You never walk alone. You walk alone tonight. So this is just like what we have. You can just do something around that, just play around it, and have this stuff. In our what's it called? In the Excel, did we use image in our stuff? You can also add a maybe the logo of the company. You can add it somewhere here. So you can have this drop down like this. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think we've gotten to a good point where we can stop tonight. Okay, this is actually not well aligned because the spacing here is bigger than the spacing here, yeah? So I can just probably select everything. Select, go down. Oh, God. Okay, one way to do it is just to, similar way with Excel. Remember, click on one and then do Control A, select everything, and then you just uncheck this one, and then we can move all these guys like this. Just move them a bit. So, I mean, it's well aligned now. Okay. So, yeah, let's stop there. So tomorrow we'll probably continue with the format, forecasting. So we'll add a forecast to this. I'll show you how you can add forecast to your chart. But the whole point here that I'm trying to show you is the importance of the measures, the DAX. That because DAX is like what really distinct this guy from other visualization to like Excel. Of course, you can also do DAX in Excel, but with the help of you have to do some add-ons. So being able to see the importance of data modeling. Can you see the importance, how it's easy for us to really calculate things without necessarily having to do join all the time, writing join all the time. So if you import that kind of data that I sent to you, that mini project 4 that we are trying to do the correction video, if you bring that kind of data here, and did we have to do modeling? Yeah, because we have several tables. Yeah, so if you do the right modeling, writing the query all the time, you will not need to. You will just easily be able to answer those questions by just doing drag and drop and writing some quick measures. Do you get it now? So that's where the whole idea, but the foundation is built on the joining. If I break any join here now, everything here is scattered. We are going to be getting a wrong result. So the visualization is not of course, it's what people will see is but the bedrock, the engine room is the modeling. So exactly what we did here, do it for revenue, okay? Just exactly the same thing. Format it, use any format you want, but make sure that you are not complicating formats, okay? Let me format this one as this as well, so we can have uniform stuff. So it's not that you're gonna bring color like rainbow and then scatter everything. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. So tomorrow, our final class. Oh my God, to cry. Okay, our final session. Yeah, obviously we'll try to wrap up. But trust me, your project, your final, even starting from your mini project, you are going to have maybe a bit more complex stuff, right, than this. Of course, that's how we do. But it will require that you go find out answers yourself. But talking about the whole concept, very easy. The most important that I still am insisting on you guys should know is the understanding of the business. Because once you don't get that, all of these things are not even going to be meaningful. Yeah. So thank you. Questions? Yeah. I'm seeing some hands up. Mr. Isaac, yeah. Please go ahead.
So thank you very much for tonight. Let me start by reminding you, you should maybe do a makeup final class, because I don't know how it's going to look like tomorrow. After tomorrow, we're not going to have this opportunity again like we used to do. I mean, we have been doing it for more than 15 days now. Okay, that is by the way. Secondly, on this dashboard, I can see here, is it possible for you to center this North Wind sales report? Is it possible to center it, or this is how it's...
Yeah. You can center it, but I decided to leave it on the left because I would like, if I have opportunity to import a logo, I want to put it on the right here. So,
okay, that is one, two. Okay.
You just saw me did it, right? So you can center it.
Yes. Secondly, I would like to ask, is this report for April 2015? I thought you said we had some missing data. I mean, from 2013 and then 2015. So why can't we just try to place this report as something that happened within this time frame, so we don't...
Okay, so it's just the idea, is how you conceive it. So the way I'm conceiving the idea is that this is a monthly report. Do you get it? So if the data we have for May is on to 6, it means that this data, I mean, I'm guessing that, okay, they just entered May, so there's no point reporting anything about May. So that's why I left it to April. So, but what that now means is that in most of the report, you might have to filter out May. Do you understand? So that's also something that I think you can use your slicer to achieve. So you can actually filter May 2015 out of your data. So instead of adding, you people want me to can I go on? Can I take 5 more minutes of your time? Okay. All right. So in filtering, we have 3 types of filter. Why is it 2 types now? Okay, 3 types. So let me click on a visual, and then you see it's 3 types. So we have 3 types of filtering. The first one is filter, visual level filter. So that's like when you are filtering a particular visual, which is like, for instance, if I click on this and I filter, you saw how I filtered, right? So that is called visual level. So you can see that filters on this visual. So any filter that I apply here, so for instance, I bring in my month here that we created. If I bring it here, and then I choose, okay, let me use start of the month, because let me use start of the month column. Let me bring it here, and then I select everything. There are different ways you could do it. You could select it one by one, or you could say advanced filtering, and then it said shows result when the value is not, or is before, different logic, anyhow you want to do the logic. So is before, and then I select 2015. Do you get what I'm doing? It's just anyhow, you can do this anyhow. So I just want to every result that is before May 2015. Yeah. So before 1st of May 2015. So it means that April is the last date that this is going to. So if I apply this filter now, you can see this value has changed. So every data here now we have is April 30. Do you understand? Based on what I did, you could as well just use the basic filtering and begin to select all of them one by one, but that's stressful. Yeah. And then leave out only May. You could also do it. You can check it. You still get the same result. So, but what I want to show you here is that this filter is only being applied to where? To this visual. So this is visual level filter. Do you get it? So now if I clear that filter, and now, of course, only when I click on a visual, you have that first option, right? If I click on a visual, as you can see, if I don't click on any visual, you only have 2 options. So the second is page level filter. So any filter that you apply there, it will be applicable to every visual you have on that page. So if I apply the same thing that I did, so if I come here now and bring my start of the month, okay, and I filter it, that same filter okay, this is what I was trying to say the other time. So you can actually be selecting it one by one and selecting from 2013 till you get to, okay, let me do that one. So you will see what you understand the importance of that one. So you are trying to select one by one. It's a lot, though. But because I want for people to understand it, that's why I'm doing this like this. So it's a lot, but let's just manage to do it very fast. This is where I'm going to stop.
Watching your team.
Yeah, I think 1.19. Maybe we missed something because the other one, okay, we missed something here. So we can see it's exactly what we had when we did that first method, which is 1.25. So before 2015 of May. So when we do this now, you can see that the filter is applied where? On all the visuals. You can see it's all the visuals that we're changing. So that's the second type, page level filter. Do you get it? And the last one is all pages. So it will not just be only this page, it will be all the pages. So even if you create revenue, if you create several pages, that filter will be applicable to all pages. So those are the differences. So here, I can advise that we use all pages filter to take out all the results for May, because it's not logical to report about it since it's not complete. And we are assuming that our month is April 2015. So we are reporting until April 2015. Do you get it? So I can do that now and bring my start of the month here. Now it's going to be on all pages. So every page that we create, the result will be getting, the visuals will be seen, will be until April, the last day of April. So instead of using that option of selecting one by one, now you understand what I'm trying to do. So I can say is before, yeah, is instead of is before, and then you select the date that you want, which is 2015 of May, yeah. So which is April. Is before May 1st. Is before May 1st, 2015, 12 a.m. And you apply it. So you can see this we apply again to all the pages. But if you go to another page now, you will see that that filter is also there. Can you see? Did you add it here manually? No. But it's something that applies on our page. Any page that you create, that filter will be there. So those are the three filters that you need to know. So this is a way of, I would recommend we leave it like this so that we know that our analysis is only based on 2015. Do you understand it? Do you get it?
Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, you're welcome. So that's that. So Mr. Oman Jenny, yeah, please go ahead.
Good day, Mr. Idris.
Good day, sir.
I will start by thanking you for service to humanity. A quick one. I want to know the best practice to be in line with this data analysis. We are getting to the end of this practice because we have SQL, we have Excel, and also we have Power BI. I will not be going through this maybe Excel, SQL, Power BI because I think I want to know if I should be working on a project that will give me the concrete knowledge to be in line, like a work scenario. Because truth of the matter is right now, I don't have a job like a data analyst, like 8 hours to work, Excel, SQL, and all that. To run 8 hours, I can do all that. I'm a family man, so I have like 2 hours or 3 hours to do this. I want to know the best practice to be in line with this. Like, just give me your advice because we are running to the end of the class. So I want to know where to stick my hand to like be concrete in this.
Okay, so while I would answer that later, like in subsequent, I mean, for sure, we'll still have a meet. Don't let me scare you because it's the last class. Of course, we have project next week and we'll still be talking for sure. And we'll still have some sessions together. The answer to your question is just practice. Okay, so there's nothing like work scenario because as far as I know, everything we are doing is a real world situation. Do you understand? Everything we are doing, I'm not coming here and then showing you that this is how you can create a visual. It will not make sense. So I'm showing you the problems that you can find in your data, and it's not like it's one way. But once you build up the mindset, and the only way you can build up that mindset is through practice. Okay? So don't worry, we are still going to talk about that probably on Friday. I think Friday I should. So we should probably have our first talking where we can talk about this kind of topic because I know many of us have these questions. So we have been working on that. So on Friday, we should be able to meet. I will confirm that tomorrow with us. So we'll have like an hour or two to discuss. I know all the questions you have, what's next after this camp. Should I go and take another course, or should I for me, I don't think you need to take another course, if I'm just being honest with you guys. Yeah. No, okay, we'll talk about those things later. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What you just need now, just at back of your, put it there, practice. You just need to build on this. You must not let it go. Just build on it. There are a lot of resources. Just pick up the project, the data set you already have from this camp is enough to start something. All those your mini project every week is enough data to start something, to start building your portfolio. You should, I think I mentioned, you should be able to have already maybe up to 7 projects. I'm serious. From this data, all these mini projects, even though sometimes we're restricting the way the questions were, but now go back to it with these tools that you now have. Try to bring them together. Try to begin to work. Okay, this one I want to use SQL and Power BI. Okay, this one I want to use SQL and Excel. This one I want to use only Power BI. I mean, just go around it. But that's the only thing that can really salvage something out for you, for all of us. Because even me, I keep practicing. So, but we'll talk more on that on Friday for sure. So time is gone. Guys, sorry, I could not take other questions. You can reach out on the chat if you have any question related to what we've learned or general questions. And of course, as we round up tomorrow, I believe we'll have more things to talk about. And definitely, like I said, we'll still have some time to meet and discuss about what's next from here. But it's really been a great time. Oh, okay, so let me get emotional. Let me keep that into. Let me keep my tears into. So we'll see. So have a great evening and see you.